afternoon, we have the following attendees from the members of the VAC Story, Dr. Maria Daraga Santos, VAC Chairperson, and of course, Chief of the Administrative Division. We also have the Vice Chairperson, Engineer Nelson Sereno, and Chief of the Equipment Management Division. We also have the regular member, Sir Benjamin Benchi Vetri Jr., Chief of the Quality Assurance Hydrology Division. We also have the provisional member, Engineer Arnel L. Samson, Chief of the Maintenance Division, provisional member for field can attend for Guilds Infra and Consultancy. We also have the members of the Assistant Head of the DPWH, Engineer Erlem Joseph Azotea, and the Assistant Division Chief of the Equipment Management Division. We also have Engineer Lynette V. Grahida, the Chief of the Procurement Unit, of course, the backside. Also, we have Engineer Maylene Altarejos, Probac Secretary. We also have Engineer Jasper Abaynusa, another member of the TWG, and another member of the Secretariat is Mr. Paulo O. Palmones. So this afternoon, we are having this pre-bid conference for its eligibility requirements. Brief on basic contract data for 24F00032, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, network development program, road widening, primary roads, Daang Maharlika, LC to kilometer 0265 plus 346 to kilometer 0266 plus 470, kilometer 0267 plus 053 to kilometer 0267 plus 112, Santa Elena, Camarines, Norte, 1st Legislative District. We also have 24F00093, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, network development program, construction of bypass and diversion roads, Daraga Urban Tourism, Eco Road, Albay, Daraga, and Legazpi City, Albay, 2nd Legislative District. For 24F00102, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, network development program, construction of bypass and diversion roads, Nabua Bypass Road, Camarines, Nabua, Kamsur, 5th Legislative District. We also have 24F00105, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, network development program, construction of bypass and diversion roads, Tagkawayan, Labo, Diversion Road, Labo section, Busig on Bridge, Bridge to Camarines, Norte, Labo, Camarines, Norte, 1st Legislative District. We also have 24F00282, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage systems, construction of Daang River flood control structure, Dugungan section package 1, Daang Camarines Norte, Daang Camarines Norte, 2nd Legislative District. For 24F00283, organizational outcome to protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage systems, construction of Daang River flood control structure, Dugungan section package 2, Daang Camarines Norte, Daang Camarines Norte, 2nd Legislative District. For the eligibility requirements, we have eligibility of prospective bidders is determined using the Civil Works Application CWA, which electronically processes the compliance to the Class A documents, such as the legal, technical, and financial documents. Prospective bidders are encouraged to regularly update their respective records in the CWA on the following requirements: A, Class A documents, legal documents, registration certificate from the Securities and Exchange Commission for corporate organizations, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or the Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives. Of course, for the legal documents, number 2 is Mayor's business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. In cases of recently expired mayor's business permits, it shall be accepted together with the official receipt as proof that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed to the concerned local government unit, provided that the renewed permit shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 24.2 of the IRR of RJ 9184. Of course, for number 3, tax clearance for Executive Order 3980/2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents number 4, we have statement serving yung doon sa field registration ng important titles sa layers permits ka business permit, di ba?
May na-mention na rin naman siya dyan. Inalis na yan nila.
Okay po. So, a statement of the respective bidder of all completed and ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. For number 4, we have statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in section 23.4.2.4 of the IRR of RA 9184. All of the above statements for the 4th and 5 shall include all information required in the PPPs prescribed by the DPWH. 3.4.2.4, the prospective bidder has had completed an SLCC that is similar to the contract to be bid, in whose value adjusted to current price using the PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid. Provided, however, the contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable rates of the contract cost or the ARCC of the registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the PCAM. For technical documents, 23.4.2.4, moreover, a contract shall be considered similar to the contract to be bid if it has the same major categories of work. The procuring entity may clarify in the bidding documents what is regarded as major categories of work. For the determination of major categories of work are defined in Department Order, DL 117. Okay. Okay, ano naman po? Hindi siya 117. That is, ano po? Okay, 117, series of 2017, 23.4.2.5, the SMCC shall be supported by an owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the contractor's performance evaluation sales test. Di ba yung contract na okay. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. For number 6, valid Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost for the contract to be bid. Financial documents. Number 7, the prospective bidder's audited financial statement showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total in current assets and liabilities. Stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the receiving of a calendar year which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. For number 8, the prospective bidder computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. 23.4.2.6, the computation of the prospective bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid calculated as follows. NFCC equal to current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. The values of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest audited financial statements submitted to the BIR. For Class B documents, joint venture bidders shall submit a GPA in accordance with RA 4566 and its IRR. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective certificates of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the IRR of RA 9184. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitute compliance. provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all its involving contracts and outright financial statements. Technical requirements also includes a joint venture agreement, bid security as applicable, bid securing declaration. Sample format of bid securing declaration must be notarized. Bid securing declaration, contract ID number, name of the contract, and the location. Addressed to the party, the public works in institutional office 5, Old Airport Road, Barangay 40, Busada, Legazpi City. Technical requirements will be class or I, of course, blank declare that one, we or class or I understand that according to your conditions, bids must be supported by a bid security, which may be in the form of a bid security declaration. Number 2, we slash or I accept that now A, we or slash I will be automatically disqualified from bidding for any contract with any procuring entity for a period of 2 years upon receipt of your blacklisting order. And B, we or slash or I will pay applicable fine provided under Section 6 of the guidelines for the use of bid security declaration within 15 days from the receipt of the written demand by the procuring entity for the commission of acts resulting from enforcement of the bid securing declaration under Section 23.1, Paragraph B, 34.2, 40.1, and 69.1, except 69.1, Paragraph F of the IRR of RA 9184, without prejudice to the other legal action the government may undertake. Number 3, we or slash I understand that the bid securing declaration shall cease to be valid of the following circumstance. Letter A, upon expiration of the bid validity period or any extension thereof pursuant to your request. Letter B, we slash I are declared ineligible or post-disqualified upon receipt of your notice to such effect, and we slash I failed to timely file a request for reconsideration, or of course in paragraph double I, we or I file a way to avail of said right. Letter C, we slash I are declared as the bidder with the lowest calculated and responsive bid, and we slash I have furnished the procurement security and signed the contract. The jurat says, in witness whereof, we or I have hereunder set my hands this blank day of blank at blank, the place where the contract is authorized. Apaya. Okay. And now the technical documents also includes the duly signed organizational chart, duly signed list of key personnel for the contract with supporting affidavits of commitment to work on the contract with the key personnel, duly signed list of contractors' major construction and laboratory equipment pledged to the contract, and omnibus short statement. Okay, also the financial requirements includes duly signed bid form, duly signed bill of quantities including summary of bid prices, duly signed initial detailed estimates, and duly signed cash flow by quarter. Further instruction, clarification on the submission of technical and financial documents. For those who wish to use bid security declaration or BSD as bid security, use the new format per Department Memorandum Circular 85 series of 2020 uploaded the PhilGIPS and DPWH websites. Similarly, use uploaded new omnibus short statements format that contains addendum enclosed pertaining to the declaration of non-inclusion in the blacklist and an additional declaration of clause 10 pertaining to the advance payment. Prospective bidders are required to use appropriate incorrect format for the omnibus short statement pertaining to the authority of the signatory according to the type of business organization, an example, single proprietorship, corporate, cooperative, or joint venture. Failure to do so will be treated as a misdeclaration by the prospective bidder. It will be ground for the non-compliance of the bid. Of course, on financial, prospective bidders are reminded of the provision in the invitation to bid that equipment capacity as specified in the bid data sheet shall be mandatory, in absence of the same shall disqualify the contractor. All requirements stated in the bid data sheet are mandatory. Hence, in the same manner that the items of work in the corresponding quantities involved are fixed and mandatory in the bill of quantities. The type of equipment, their respective capacities, and number of units required are also mandatory in the list of equipment pledged for the contract. Failure of the prospective bidder to state a complete technical description of the pledged equipment in a specific location, whether old, leased, or other parties agreement, shall result in the bidder's automatic cost disqualification and forfeiture of the bid security. Of course, for further instructions and clarifications on the submission of technical and financial documents, the TWD shall conduct inspection on the pledged equipment as to their availability and efficiency. Equipment pledged for one awarded project shall not be pledged to another project bid out on the same date or immediate date after the bidding of the awarded project. Equipment pledged on several projects bid out on the same date or if the bidder is potentially the winner of these projects will be drawn for the bidder's cost disqualification in the other projects. Review documents to be submitted to avoid ineligibility in non-compliance of bid. Check the validity of permits, licenses, registrations, and clearances. Check the completeness as to form and substance of the bid security, affidavits, declarations, and other notarized documents. Use the new bid form for infrastructure GPPB Resolution number 16/2020 and circularized in the DPWH through Department Order 85 series of 2020. All entries required in the bill of quantities such as those for the unit price, in the words in figures, in the total price for the item for both lump sum and non-lump sum items of works should be properly filled out. Absence of any of the said required entries will be drawn for non-compliance finding on the bid and shall be considered violation under DO 28 series of 2024 3-star policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts. Absence of signature on any page of the bill of quantities qualified as one of the violations contemplated in Department Order number 28 series of 2024 3-star policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts. Provision of excessive OCMs, profits, and taxes in the detailed estimates shall not be considered as ground for the disqualification of the bid. However, the TWG shall make corrections in the bid incorporating therein the correct percentages, amounts for the indirect cost per section 32 of the IRR of RA 9184 in Department Order 28 series of 2024. The resulting total shall be considered as the corrected bid. Award shall be bid to the submitted bid price or is calculated corrected bid price whichever is lower. Of course, the lump sum cost of the bill of quantities must be supported with detailed cost estimate showing the direct and indirect costs including tax. Provision of overhead, contingencies, and miscellaneous OCM for special items under the general requirements and facilities for the engineer shall not be accepted. Discounts offered in a handwritten text in the bid form should be signed or initialed by the authorized managing officer who is authorized to sign the bid documents. Otherwise, the discount will not be accepted. Erasures and termination, overwriting, and alterations in any document should likewise be signed, initialed with authorized managing officer. Brief explanation of the criteria for eligibility screening, criminal examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, and post-qualification. Process and criteria for eligibility processing shall be in accordance with Section 23.1 and 23.4.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184 in the contract profile based on Department Order 117 Series of 2017 revised guidelines for the determination of major and similar categories of work. Electronic eligibility processing through the Civil Works Application or CWA shall be conducted simultaneously or ahead of the opening of the technical documents depending on the consistency of the network connectivity of the CWA. Preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted in accordance with Section 30 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. Bids that fail to include any requirement from the checklist or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as paid. Of course, course, the detailed evaluation of bid shall be in accordance with Section 32 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. Bids shall be checked as completeness, arithmetical corrections will be performed on computational errors, and omissions will be corrected to enable proper comparison on equal footing of all eligible bids. Post-qualification shall be conducted in accordance with Rule 10, post-qualification of the IRR of RA 9184. Verification, validation, and ascertainment of all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents covering the legal, technical, and financial requirements. The provisions of the revised IRR of RA 9184 to the DPWH Procurement Manual 2 Infrastructure shall govern the procurement, instruction, and the purchase of bidding documents. Only the owner of the firm or the authorized representative's name in the CRC shall be allowed to transact business relative to bidding matters and purchase bidding documents per Department Order 176 series of 1993 and as reiterated in DO 197 series of 2001. Those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit special power of attorney or SPA or secretary certificate whosoever is applicable. The authorized representatives issued with SPA or secretary certificate shall be required to present 2 valid government-issued identification cards or IDs and a print-out copy of the document request list or DRL from the previous posting of the contract to be bid showing the name of the construction firm. The bank secretariat will not be responsible for the failure by the bidder to pay the bidding document in time for the bid dropping due to late arrival, delayed processing of the order of payment, collection order, in the late payment of the bidding documents. Of course, the loss of the order of payment and supporting documents already released issued by the bank secretariat is not the responsibility of the bank secretariat. Only the signatory may cancel and or revise the duly signed letter of authority to purchase bid documents. Bidding documents payment made for canceled projects due to no funds approved released for disapproved modification and or for late release projects that have already exceeded a 3-month period for award are non-refundable as a matter of policy of the DPWH regional office. Instruction in the submission and drafting of bids follow the checklist of the technical and financial document requirements uploaded with the bidding documents for the contract to be bid out. Absence of any required document shall be considered as failure of compliance on the required document in non-compliance of the bid. Chronologically arrange the document in accordance with the checklist for the technical and financial documents. Provide index tab and pagination and securely valid the documents. Affix initial on all pages of the documents. The initials on the pages together with the pagination affirm the authenticity of the pages that they are indeed part of the submitted bid documents. Submit to signed original in one machine copy of the bid documents. Machine copies of the documents must be from the original. Of course, letter A, the instruction and submission in drafting a bids. A, place the original technical document in an envelope and securely seal it. Put a marking on the envelope containing the following text: original technical document, the name of the bank chairman, in the name and address of the procuring entity, the contract ID, in the name of the project, and indicate. Do not open before 10 a.m. on March 21, 2024 for 24F00032 and 24F00105. Do not open before 10 a.m. on March 20, 2024 for 24F00093 and 24F00102. Do not open before 10 a.m. on March 22, 2024 for 24F00282 and 24F00283. Do the same for the original financial documents and put both the original technical and financial envelopes in one outer envelope. Label the outer envelope as original bid, including the other text for the marking. Do the same above procedures for the copy by marking the envelope as copy 1 for the technical and financial envelopes as well as the outer envelope. Of course, place the envelopes labeled as original bid in copy 1 in one manner envelope and put the marking containing the text name of the bank chairman and the name and address of the procurement entity, the contract ID in the name of the project, and indicate do not open before 10 a.m. on March 23, 2024 for 24F00032 and 24F00105. Do not open before 10 a.m. on March 20, 2024 for 24F00093, 24F00102, and 24F00272. Do not open before 10 a.m. on March 22, 2024 for 24F00282 and 24F00283. It's right, of course, this is presentation wherein you will see that for the mother envelope, there are outer envelopes intended for the original and copy one. They will be containing the same technical documents, financial documents, also for both the original and the copy one. And other important matters, prospective bidders are encouraged to conduct site inspection for them to determine whether this is the right project for them. Decisions at the back amending any provision in the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission of receipts of bids. Minutes of the pre-bid conference will be posted in the back bulletin board, and prospective bidders are encouraged to read the minutes. Prospective bidders are also encouraged to regularly visit the postings in the field gifts and DPWH websites to keep themselves abreast of the supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued by the back. Prospective bidders key personals to submit copies of their valid and updated PRC licenses and or accreditation whichever is applicable. Possible causes of failure of bidding are the following. Number 1, no bids are received. Number 2, all prospective bidders are declared ineligible. Number 3, all bids fail to comply with all the bids documents or fail post-qualification. Or number 4, the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid refuses without justifiable cause to accept award of contract, and no award is made in accordance with Section 40 of the Act and its IRR. Of course, this is the end of the presentation. Do we have any viewer? Huh? Are there any viewer, Justin? There being none. So our pre-bid conference for contract IDs 24 as mentioned a while ago is now adjourned. Thank you, members of the back and PWH.